Hi, good evening, everybody. This is Cal, MAO Online. Now, today is 6th of August, 2020, Thursday. Let's look at the market right now, right? So, for the market now, we look at the gold market to start off the session. Let's look at gold. Okay. Now, for gold today, it's still pretty strong. In fact, it crossed the pivot 2 level of 2039. So, most likely, gold will be trying to clear the previous high, and that was 2055 that was done yesterday. And now the gold price is trading at 2049, seemingly hovering pretty strong there. Look at the intraday movement today. You can see right here now. Once it's hold above the pivot 2 level, it's a very strong buy up, and now it's consolidating between the KTR plus 1 and the KTR plus 2. That will between the 2046 and 2054 level. At the moment now, the boys are still selling into strength, and let's see whether this movement is it real or actually part of a fake move to go down further. All right, that is for gold. Now for Dow Jones, I mentioned today that the Dow Jones, as long as it stays above opening price, it could be going to 27,380. But if the Dow Jones go below opening price, then there's a possibility to see 26,835, or if not worse, 26,659. And now look at the Dow Jones now live. Wow, there's some selling at the moment. Not too sure what's happening in the market. But we can see very clearly the Dow was resisted at the KTR plus 1 level. The first wave of selling. It tries again. The second wave selling. And now the boys are fully into the sell mode. And just a moment ago, I just forecasted that the Dow could be heading towards the KTR minus 1 level. And we are just about probably 10-20 points away from the target zone. No, congratulations for those who follow the trade. The Nasdaq. Now, the Nasdaq to me has shown signal here. Yesterday, the Nasdaq KSI has turned red in color. So there is some form of unloading, or if not distribution, or if not just profit taking. But whatever it is, usually when it turns red in color, we know that you have to be careful. And when the market breaks the previous low, usually that is the first sign of trouble. And of course, now Nasdaq is coming off. Yes, again, same thing like the Dow. It basically got resisted at KTR plus 1. First wave of selling. Then it tries again, and it lost strength. And now it confirms losing it. So now there is a possibility that Nasdaq might be going down further. But next one will be at 11,034 level. All right, now it's trading around here. But the boys are definitely unloading. You can see very clearly they are more of the selling into strength than buying. Now the S&P 500, the day chart first, S&P 500 all the way the KSI have been red. That means that boys actually are selling into strength. But if you look at the uniform upside, right, this tells me very clearly that the S&P 500 really has to stay strong today. The S&P 500 had to stay above the 3306 mark. If the S&P loses this number, then there is a possibility to see the S&P 500 coming down to about 3295. And of course, if 3295 can't stay, then the next level could go pretty bad. And that will go down all the way to about 3271, which is very near to my pivot 2 level, 3272 level. Okay, so traders, be very careful of these few levels. Things can go pretty ugly today if things start to go into perspective, like about concerning the economy. Like yesterday, we have a pretty bad number on the initial jobless claim, but the market seemed to find some strength on the relief of the potential vaccine found for coronavirus. Okay, so let's look at the Hang Seng today. Now for Hang Seng today, we can see a very strong reversal selling. Now when the market broke the 25124 level, we know that the Hang Seng will be coming down. And I did mention there will be a very strong support at 24647. And you can see amazingly the market really came down and hit the support level beautifully and reverse all the way. This is really crazy, right? So when we shorted right here, because it broke the pivot 2 level. Now we mentioned before, as long as the market stays below pivot 2, it's always very bearish. And of course, it was a sell all down all the way. Now from here, we have shorted. And the market gave us more than 470 points. Okay, so now we are looking to short again because it just triggered the KTR minus 3 level. So it's a short now. I believe they're going to test back this level once again. So Hang Seng traders, look out for this for TP once again. Now for crude oil, we have mentioned that for crude oil, it was resisted at the pivot 2 level, 4254. The high is 4260, so it touches a pivot 2. Now, as I mentioned again, when a market hit pivot 2 and couldn't stay up, it is always a bearish sign. And the crude oil is coming down now. Now, the thing is this, there's some technical level. Let me just adjust the level. Okay, I didn't do all this thing, my little homework, apology for that, but let's tell you that I'm doing it live now. So which means that now if crude oil is to come down, the first level is 41.60 is the first support, and if that loses strength, then 40.90 will be the next level. Now the KSI have been red in color, so the uptrend movement, but the KSI red is never a good sign. So if the market break 41.60, this could spell some trouble, and if the crude oil comes down, then most likely the equity market will be affected. All right. So that is what happened for the indices side. Let's look at the conventional side. Now for my trend line itself, you can see that I haven't changed my trend line, which I can do it live for you now. Now because of this movement, I have to move it to a point whereby you must look at the closing, cannot be closed below it. So that means that you have to put it under here, and you can see amazingly the trend line did curve fit beautifully. So which means that now my moving average and my trend line is really coming to one. And of course, what I'm seeing now is pretty clear, is that, let me just bring it in. Okay, that if the Dow Jones tonight or the next few days break my trend line and my moving average, then there is a possibility we could see the Dow Jones going down to this point here on the conventional chart, which means that from where we are now, if the Dow comes down, break the trend line, we can see a potential 1,400 points movement downwards. Okay, I repeat, 1,400 points downside movement. Okay, so let's just see what will happen. All right, then for the Nasdaq, well, I told you before, my trend line and my moving average is really ridiculously like close buddies, and they're still moving there. And there seemed to be triple top movement at the moment. The market broke it up, but you saw my the trend line is forming there. So if the Nasdaq loses 11,070, then I believe it will come back down to get support at this point. Now this is a concern, because if the market takes this line so seriously for the last few months, and if the Nasdaq do fall to find the support, we're looking at a movement of 1,000 points on the Nasdaq. Now I don't think it will happen, but again, you will never know. All right, so traders, just be very careful. The whole movement does seem to be looking forward for a potential breakdown. All right, let's see what happened. And the last one for tonight, for today, it will be this S&P 500 sticking like glue, so very nicely. And same thing over here, the moving average and my trend line is really similarly together. And of course, the support will roughly be about 3260 or 3250 level, a typical level for support. But of course, if the S&P fall, there'll be a 200-point downside before a support can be found. You can see the very strong support there. So from the way I look at it itself, right, from my conventional chart and my PSV chart, it does tells me that, right, something is pretty wrong somewhere. And if you look at the KSI on the S&P 500, I've been selling all the way. The boys are selling when the price is going up. So there is a very good chance to see S&P 500 coming down. So traders on the long side on equity market, be very careful. All right, this is my personal view. All right, hope everything goes well. All right, hope you make money. This is Cal signing off.